This all happened in the basement laundry room of my apartment building. I swear, I only went down there because I was completely out of clean clothes for work. But at 2:47 in the morning, I wasn't alone. Someone else was there, waiting between the washing machines. The basement air hung heavy with the smell of old detergent and damp concrete dust. The long fluorescent bulbs overhead flickered constantly, casting everything in a pale, cold, almost sickly glow. It was dead silent, except for the low hum of a single washing machine. Unit number 6. I remember looking at its red digital timer, and it was blinking 00s. The cycle was over, but it was still humming, still vibrating. As I walked closer, my footsteps echoing on the hard floor, I saw something move. It was in the reflection on the round glass door of the washer. But it wasn't my reflection. It was someone else's. A woman. She had long, dark hair that hung over her face, and her feet were bare against the grimy floor. She was standing completely still, right behind me. My heart hammered against my ribs. I whipped around so fast I nearly lost my balance, but there was no one there. The space behind me was empty. I let out a shaky breath, my mind racing. Was I just seeing things? But when I looked back at the washing machine, her reflection was still there, trapped in the glass. It stared back at me, a perfect image of a woman who wasn't physically in the room. And then she spoke. Her voice was a low, chilling whisper that seemed to crawl out of the pipe system behind the machines, echoing through the metal. You came late tonight. A draft of impossibly cold air drifted across the back of my neck, raising goosebumps all over my skin. I couldn't move. I was frozen, staring at this impossible reflection. I tried to tell myself it was a trick of the light, a hallucination from being tired. But the voice was too real. Suddenly, a small red maintenance light above the circuit breaker box on the far wall flickered on all by itself, bathing that corner of the room in a hellish glow. In the washer glass, the woman's reflection took a step closer. Her long hair was a dark curtain obscuring her face, but I could see something moving underneath it, like her skin was shifting and writhing. She slowly, unnaturally, lifted her head, her face pressed against the inside of the washer door. Not in reality, but in the reflection. It was like she was on the other side of the glass, inside the machine. "You forgot something," she whispered again, her voice scraping through the pipes. "You left it here." I finally found my voice and managed to take a stumbling step back, my mind reeling in confusion. "What are you talking about? I haven't been down here in months." "That's not true," she replied instantly. The glass on the washer door began to fog up from the inside. From her side of the reflection, a small, pale handprint formed on the glass, and then another one right next to it, as if she was pushing against it, trying to get out. Her face leaned in closer until her nose was touching the glass. "You came last week," she whispered, her voice more insistent now. "You saw me then." A cold dread washed over me, so intense it made my stomach drop. She was right. I did come down last week. I'd told myself it was just for 5 minutes, to grab a stray sock I'd forgotten. But as the memory surfaced, it felt warped, incomplete. Like there was a huge chunk of time missing. I remember the door clicking shut behind me, and then nothing. Just a feeling of profound unease until I was back in my apartment, with no memory of how I got there. The machine's lock suddenly clicked open with a loud, metallic snap. Will be itself. The round door swung outward, and then the impossible happened. The reflection, the woman inside the glass, she stepped out of the door. It wasn't a reflection anymore. She moved from the glass into the real world, like the washing machine was some kind of portal. She landed silently on the concrete floor, her bare feet making no sound at all. Her hair lifted away from her face, as if moved by an unseen wind, and I finally saw her. Her skin was a patchwork of burn scars, cracked and pulled taut, with crude stitches holding parts of it together. Her eyes were dark, empty pits. "I asked for help," she whispered, her voice filled with a hollow agony. "But you left." My throat tightened, and I couldn't breathe. She took one slow, deliberate step toward me. I needed someone to stay. Pure instinct took over. I scrambled backward, my eyes locked on her as I fumbled for the staircase. Just as my foot hit the bottom step, The basement lights shut off completely, plunging the room into absolute darkness. The only light left was the faint, pulsing red glow from the maintenance light, which cast her in a terrifying silhouette. I could just make out her pale shape as she walked toward me. Slowly, relentlessly. I didn't wait to see more. I bolted up the stairs, my lungs burning, and slammed a heavy basement door shut behind me. I twisted the deadbolt, my hand shaking so badly it took 3 tries. Leaning against the door, I heard her footsteps echoing on the other side. A slow, steady tap. Tap, tap. Coming up the concrete stairs, I thought it was over. I thought locking the door was enough. But tonight, as I was walking past the laundry room door on the first floor, I heard it. The low, familiar hum of a washing machine starting up. Unit number 6, and through the small grate at the bottom of the door, I saw a flicker of red light. The timer wasn't counting down. It blinked with 2 words. Welcome back. And from behind the door, a chilling whisper slithered into the hallway. Just for me. You still owe me time.